Hello there. Today I will be sharing thoughts on the Edgic for this third episode of Survivor. If you don't know what the Edgic is, I will link a great article from Inside Survivor in the description explaining it all. I will go through each player and give my thoughts on their edit from episode 3, winning chances, and whether I consider them a contender to win. Visibilities are determined by how much they are on screen, how many confessionals they have, and if they receive any SPV. Our eliminated player this episode was Brad. Brad got a lot of screen time this episode centered around the beware advantages he found, and as a result he received mostly narration instead of complexity. His rating this week is middle of the road. Like last week, Danny was hardly shown in the episode at all. He was shown to be targeted again by Naseer, but ultimately did not comment on being the target. Danny receives an under-the-radar rating this week, and is essentially eliminated from winning at this point. Deshawn had a quieter episode this week compared to last week. He, like Danny, was targeted by Naseer, and was able to comment on it, but that is the extent of his focus in this episode. Deshawn has decent screen time from the previous episode, so this isn't too bad for him here, but I would like to see more for his edit. Deshawn receives an under-the-radar rating this week, with not great chances to win. Erika is another member of the Luvo tribe to receive a minimal edit this week. Erika as a whole this season has very little screen time, so I would like to see more from her game. Next episode is her last chance at receiving something meaningful for her edit, but it's looking unlikely at this point she receives an under-the-radar rating this week, and is near eliminated from winning in my eyes. Evvie had a quiet episode this week following their massive edit in the 2 weeks prior. They were shown to be told about Tiffany finding the beware advantage, and not much else. Evvie needed this cooldown episode, as their screen time was almost too much, so this was a nice episode for her, even if there isn't too much new content to talk about. Evvie receives an under-the-radar rating this week, with solid chances to win. Genie got a slight edit this week, talking about Brad as her #1 ally sharing the immunity idol with her. She doesn't have much else this season, which is a bad look for her winning chances at this point. Genie receives a middle-of-the-road rating this week. Heather again was hardly in the episode at all this week. This is her third episode in the row of having almost no edit, which eliminates her from contention for me. Heather receives an under-the-radar rating this episode, and I am hoping to see more of her in the future. JD had a lot of focus in this episode, and was all over the place. We saw JD's large blunder this week of accidentally showing the advantage to Shan and Ricard, which was not good for him as Shan was the one who narrated the incident. He was also told to be untrustworthy by Shan, almost sending him home this week. JD had a positively toned scene at Tribal as well, giving his edit this week positivity and negativity. He receives an over-the-top mixed rating this week, and I think he has a low chance to win at this point. Liana had a quieter episode compared to last week, but that is fine as her tribe did not attend tribal council. She opened the episode with a positive confessional, and outlines her potentially making a mistake by not voting out Xander. I am unsure if this is foreshadowing down the line, or it means she makes a big move successfully, but time will tell. She receives an over-the-top, positive rating this week, with one of the highest chances to win. Naseer's edit this week skewed more negative instead of positive. Previously, he was shown to be positive, but this time he was negatively toned, giving him a weirdly toned season overall. He was shown to be targeting Danny and Deshawn, but Sydney spilled his plan to them, putting Naseer in a bad spot on his tribe. He again has a very one-note episode, and he has a low chance to win at this point. He receives an over-the-top negative rating this week for negative SPV from his tribe. Ricard had quieter episode this week, similar to last week. He commented on Shan's decision to vote out JD or Brad, and ultimately put the decision squarely on her shoulders, which is not great for Ricard. He was not particularly complex this week, similar to how he has been all season, but he still has decent content. He receives a middle-of-the-road rating this week. Shan received a lot of focus in the edit this week. She was shown to be trusted by Brad when he showed her both of the advantages he found, which Shan told us that is only shown to a #1 ally. Shan also gave us her thoughts on finding JD's extra vote, which tells us that the editors find her thoughts important over others on her tribe. Lastly, she was also shown to be in control of the decision to send Brad home, as whoever she decided was going to leave. She takes a minor knock to her edit when she was shown to be unsure of what to do, but it does not feel very consequential as the next scene she gives us a positive scene about her past. Shan receives a complex personality positive rating this week, with the best chance to win out of everyone in my opinion. Sydney was the only member of the Luvu tribe to receive significant focus this week, as she was told Naseer's plan, and told Danny and Deshawn that they were being targeted. She also found the Beware advantage this episode, giving her more focus and thoughts on the situation. Sydney did not trust Tiffany at the Beware advantage island, and was ultimately right that Brad chose to steal a vote. Sydney receives a complex personality rating this week, but is not looking likely to win at this point because she is on the Luvu tribe, who is looking to be very weak in the edit. Tiffany received a lot of focus this week, following up her already large edit from previous weeks. She found the Beware advantage, and went to the Beware Island where she was painted as untrustworthy by Sydney. This scene painted Tiffany with some negativity, as having someone negatively speak about you in a confessional is not great for your edit. This episode was mostly just Tiffany narrating her advantage, without too much else, but she does follow up solid yet chaotic content from previous weeks. Tiffany receives a middle-of-the-road negative this week, with good chances to win because of her overall solid content. Xander this week was hardly shown at all, only getting screen time at the immunity challenge. He has decent previous screen time, but overall he does not feel like someone with a particularly high chance to win. He receives an under-the-radar rating. My contenders this week are Shan, Tiffany, Liana, and Ricard. At this point, Shan is still the best chance to win in my eyes, but we will see in coming weeks what happens. Those are my thoughts on the Edgic this week, and I look forward to seeing how the edit progressed with the cast this season. Thanks for watching.